What's up, guys? Welcome to the Outer Nexus. Tonight, we are going to be getting into secret societies, how they form, and how they might try to form breakaway civilizations right under our nose, and how they've been attempted before. So this is basically part 2 of our previous episode, a continuation about the issues surrounding Jeffrey Epstein. And let me get into this. The TerraMar project. So when Ghislaine Maxwell was questioned what citizens she was the country of, I think she said the United States, but she also said TerraMar. Now, what is the TerraMar project? It was a self-described environmental nonprofit organization. It has its own flag and everything. It was founded in 2012 in the United States by convicted sex offender Ghislaine Maxwell. A sister organization in the United Kingdom was incorporated in 2013. TerraMar announced its closure on the 12th July 2019, shortly after they arrested Jeffrey Epstein. And he was involved with this as well. So they say that it was, for ocean conservation, things like that, to be out in the ocean. And it's kind of a similar idea to what L. Ron Hubbard was going to try to do with, I think his version was Sea Corps or something like that, where it's just this nation that is perpetually floating in the ocean, like Waterworld. And basically, for the TerraMar project, there are a lot of weird links that they were trying to do this with very, very, very wealthy people. And the thing about
some of them well known,
and the thing about stuff like this, now, this was named the TerraMar project. We know the name of this one. But who's to say that something like this isn't already happening? How would we track any of that? How would we know? Because the thing about this in particular, and I want you to continue, is we've had civilizations like this before called the Phoenicians that were entirely sea-based.
Well, I don't just mean sea-based.
Yeah.
Even though that's where we're looking at right now.
Exactly.
But, what is the difference between a government, or even a government organization to some degree, and something like the TerraMar project?
Yeah.
When if this actually got off the ground in the way that they had been planning, it basically becomes its own little micro government.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that was what they were aiming for.
Yeah.
Because if you're your own little micro government, then let's say you're this one, Mark, this one's at sea.
Yeah.
This one is on the ocean.
Yeah.
And just refresh my memory, where was all of the stuff happening?
Yeah.
Oh, that's on an island.
On an island.
That's right, in the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, so and you make your own rules.
You make your own rules on the island.
On the islands.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nobody coming in there. The Coast Guard's not coming by checking up on those islands.
No. We have our own thing now.
Yeah.
You guys don't have to worry about any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, it also who's behind stuff like this. Yeah. Because Ghislaine Maxwell, when this came out, went on TED Talks.
Yeah.
Like, she has TED Talks.
Yeah, she has TED Talks.
She's like, wow. Speaking to, like, the universities.
Yeah.
And large cities all over the world.
Yeah.
On this and other things.
Yeah.
But also, this is a tie between Ghislaine Maxwell and the Clinton Foundation.
Yes.
Who was heavily invested in this as well.
Yes.
So
the Clinton Foundation was invested into TerraMar.
This was also before they were called that. At the time, it was the Clinton Global Initiative.
That's what it was.
So
CGI.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever seen their enemies list. And who's left on it.
Yeah.
Not many people.
They all get Arkancided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things where it's like, again, and on our topic of, what makes an organization like this, and its legitimacy, is whether or not they can kind of withstand, these early years, which basically what happened with, Epstein kind of sank this one.
Yeah.
But should it have actually gone through and that never would have been brought to light, this could have actually been a legitimate thing. And like she said, they were giving out, the reason she said she was a citizen of TerraMar was because they were giving out passports.
That's the thing.
They were giving these out.
That's the thing.
So all of a sudden, that's how they're kind of pushing the legitimacy, because it's like, oh, we have our own passports too. So you can't come after us. We're a real thing.
We're a real country with a passport.
Yeah. So anyway,
no, I mean, continue, because there's so many threads to pull on there. I don't know whether to start with the Malta, the Knights of Malta, or Scientology. We'll go with Scientology first. So a big core of the reason why these secret societies would want to do something like this always kind of comes back down to money and dodging taxes. And this kind of stuff this might sound like some crazy thing that was just attempted, but Scientology has been attempting to do this since like the 50s. And they even got to the point where they infiltrated. Hold on, let me share this. It's called Operation Snow White by the Church of Scientology during the 1970s to purge to get members of this Church of Scientology to infiltrate government agencies and purge unfavorable records about Scientology and sort of shift things in their favor. So they were it was one of the largest infiltrations of the United States government in history. Okay, so here's the thing about that. That's a very interesting way to frame that. It was one of the largest infiltrations of the United States government in history. So what is that thing that jumps a cult from being a cult to a religion?
Yeah.
And what is the same thing that jumps an infiltration into just simply being a cultural takeover?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and there's again a bunch of questions that get
how many other types of organizations, it didn't just not just infiltrate the US government, but integrate into it to the point that it's not an infiltration anymore. It's just like there's a large sect of these people that work for the government, like Mormons, for example.
Well, like you could say but one of the ones that everybody likes to talk about are the Masons.
The Masons. That's a great example.
Because if you look at that was a guild.
That was a guild.
That was a guild, and then
of
Masons, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, so what are you guys actually doing now?
Of which George Washington was not only a member of, but next to our place of residence in a memorial cemetery for veterans, there's this weird shrine for George Washington. It's actually very beautiful if you go there and you see it. It's George Washington as a bust of, his bust. And then a field, and then like this Mason shrine. And under George Washington's bust, it says George Washington, and its first title in big bold letters is Master Freemason, and also the President of the United States in smaller letters below it.
Off to the side.
Off to the side, right. Below it. Like, the Masons were a big deal, and that was a great example. That's directly, basically from London, the Corporation of London, one of those kind of associates. you know, you could make a through line that the founding of America was intentionally made through these sort of secret societies. France helped them, and you can actually view American history through that lens if you chose to. You know what I mean?
Well, not just American history too.
The Nicolas Cage movies were about that.
World history, a lot of the time. You know, and it's not just secret organizations that become governments.
Right.
You can also say, like, again, corporations in general. The Maritime Corporation, what was it? Well, the one that took over like everything in like the 1600.
Oh, Dutch East India Trading Company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. When you have them, it's like their purchasing power back then was insane. Like it was like what
20? They had their own currency.
Like they had their own currency, and it's like I think they had like what it was like a percentage of the world of like money. Like they weren't just showing up on like the countries, how much of the country's money. No, they were showing up on like we own chunks of the world currency.
Yeah.
Like so their purchasing power would have been basically unlimited.
Yeah.
You know, and what do you do with that?
Yeah.
Because that wasn't a country. That was a corporation.
That was the first corporation.
And it's like all you would do is just basically at that point is buy power.
Yeah.
Like what else can you do with it?
What else can you do? You
like,
buy power.
You have all the money. You know that you can't really just keep buying things because it actually at a certain point it's like you can't control all of the things that you own.
Right. That is true.
You know, you have to kind of have a lot of stuff to do that.
Yeah.
So you just keep buying power.
Yeah.
Like you keep just upping your game on that where it's like, no, you know, and then it gets into how we kind of see our own government today.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, $80,000, maybe change your ideas on this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you know, it really brings into question, like, what are they trying to do with this? Their end goal can only really be to quote unquote get more power. But like, what are they really trying to do with all of this? And you know, like you were saying, you know, they do try to exert power, and just with like we saw with the Jeffrey Epstein thing, it seems as though they are exerting their power again, and it looks like it's going right into multiple aspects of this administration with stuff like this. So we did a video on Jared Isaacman being chosen to lead NASA. Good choice. And then he was kicked out. Elon was basically kicked out. And all of his ideas were thrown to the wayside. Because I guess maybe somebody got a call. Now this guy, Sean Duffy, is picked as interim NASA administrator. They're cutting a bunch of people. And now they're basically cutting so many things that, Lockheed Martin comes out of the woodwork and says that they themselves can internally go to Mars and bring back rocks from Mars.
Yeah. And if you look at that headline right there, and I know just a little bit about this, a little bit.
Yeah.
And they say for $3 billion they could do this.
Yeah.
But the thing that I saw was that they said they could do it for less than half.
Less than half.
Less than half of everybody else.
Yeah.
Which means that $3 billion for anybody else would have been at least $7 or $8 billion.
Yeah.
So they're saying all of a sudden, we can do it for less than half. $3 billion.
We can do an entire Mars mission internally. Let's see. Okay, the aerospace giant says it can revive Mars sample return with a leaner, lower cost approach, drawing on proven designs. Let's see. NASA's troubled efforts to get prized Martian samples to Earth could get a lifeline if a new proposal for a more cost-effective mission architecture gets the go-ahead. The Perseverance rover landed in Mars in 2021 and set about collecting intriguing and diverse samples in preparation for a follow-up Mars sample return mission campaign, which would pick the samples up and deliver them to Earth for analysis. However, independent reviews indicated costs ballooning up to $11 billion, and MSR faces cancellation in Trump administration budget proposals for 2026. In a new effort to revive the program, aerospace giant Lockheed Martin, which has built 11 of NASA's 22 Mars spacecraft over the years, is proposing a cut-price streamlined mission that will use a smaller lander, a smaller Mars ascent vehicle, and a smaller Earth entry system. The lander would build on heritage from NASA's InSight lander, which successfully touched down on the Red Planet in November 2018. Our most recent commercial industry-led offer to NASA is to execute Mars sample return as a firm fixed-price solution for under $3 billion, a June 26 statement from Lockheed Martin read. Given current MSR estimates of $7 billion, our goal is to utilize existing designs and streamline operations of the primary spacecraft and systems while managing risk and reducing oversight, offering a significantly lower total mission cost. In addition to its Mars expertise, the company noted that it's designed and built the spacecraft and return capsules for all 3 of NASA's robotic sample return missions, including the OSIRIS-REx, and all this, and that's great. Listen, hold on. I just want to highlight it's saying, in addition to its Mars expertise. My God. Okay. With a commercial industry, how long is this article? Okay. With a commercial industry approach that focuses on managing key requirements, reducing complexity by leveraging heritage, flight-proven elements, and limiting new designs to only those needed to close the architecture, we can bring back the samples that will unlock the mysteries of Mars and lay the groundwork for astronauts who will set foot on the Red Planet, Lockheed Martin wrote. What does that mean? Flight-proven elements and limiting new designs to only those needed to close the architecture. Okay, but Lockheed's plan is not the only alternative vision for MSR. Private space company Rocket Lab put forward its own cut price proposal for the mission last year in response to a NASA call for ideas to get the precious samples home in a faster and cheaper manner. China, too, is working on a robotic campaign to collect and return Mars samples with the launch of Tianwen 3 mission set for late 2028. The country will get the first shot at acquiring the historic first red planet samples, with the material potentially holding the evidence of life beyond Earth. For now, the U.S. approach to Mars appears to be shifting from a robotic approach toward putting astronauts on the red planet, according to the Trump administration budget proposals, likely using SpaceX in development Starship mega rocket. Landing humans on Mars is much more challenging and complex, but if realized, would also see invaluable Martian rock dust and atmospheres samples delivered to Earth. Well, that'll be nice if that pans out, but it looks like that's kind of in limbo right there with the SpaceX. And let me just see what this Rocket Lab is, just to make sure what I think it is. Let's see. It's Electron rocket. Okay, so this is the one with the Electron rocket. Yep, that's the one with the fusion rocket. Okay, so that's the company. That's the only other company that's publicly working on a fusion. Not the only other company, but they're one of the few companies in the world that are actually working on a fusion engine. So they would obviously be a competitor to this. My question is, why does our public space program estimate their costs for the Mars sample return mission to be $11 billion, but Lockheed's is $3 billion? Okay. Grok, I'm going to ask you a question. Let's go over to Grok and let's see what Grok has to say about this. Grok, has Lockheed Martin ever internally developed any technology without taxpayer funding? Let's see.
The problem here is that Skunkworks one.
Yeah.
And what's basically happening is that they sit there.
Yeah.
And they come up with an idea.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, how does this sound?
Yeah.
And they talk about it amongst themselves, and then they work out the basic framework for what something like that would look like, a project to do that.
Yeah.
And then they go to the government and they're like, look at this.
Yeah.
How would you like one of those or whatever that is?
Whatever that is. Yeah.
And they're like, that's cool. Yeah, we'd like one.
Yeah.
And then that's where the taxpayer money comes in.
Yeah.
We pay to make that thing.
Yeah.
So they can say in a way like, no, this was us. We did this. It's like, no, you just can't. Like, I could sit there and come up with cool ideas too, and then just be like, you pay for it.
Yeah. Like, what is this? Like,
and that's what it is. So
how did, like, listen, my question is, like, how can we just allow a private company to claim Mars expertise when it's essentially all taxpayer? Like, that should be part of the space program then. It should just be part of the space. It's not like you shouldn't be doing this internally. It should be, here's a $3 billion option for the space program from all of our taxpayer funded things that we've been doing at Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, and that's always been my problem with these large contractors like this. It's like
the way that they're angling it. Well, it's just like
at a certain point.
Yeah,
it's like if like most of your money is coming in, it's like, okay, guys, we're paying this company to do all of this.
Yeah.
And the company has a framework of how it works.
Yeah.
It's like if we can't internally figure out a better framework to do this, we need to copy that framework.
Yeah.
And because obviously it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And just take over. I'm not saying take over Lockheed, but I'm saying do the same thing.
But the thing is, it's like here's my whole argument about this is that Lockheed at this point, if you can internally do a Mars mission and claim your company has quote unquote Mars expertise to do this, you're like right up there with Google now in terms of like, are you a company that should be a company, or should you be like turned into government services? You know what I mean?
I get what you're
like, but the question is, well, how do you demonopolize Google? But it's always the intentions of the people that run these systems. You know, is this all going for good things, or are you angling this in this way because you're holding back technology that you think is being privatized? You know what I mean? From the taxpayer. You know, all like the $21 trillion that we're funneling into all of this. Are you hiding something from us? Or do you have our best interests? You know, is this an olive branch like, hey, we'll do your space program for you. That's cool. Or it's like, do you manage the actual space program and you're allowing us to see this part?
Well, and that's kind of always, like I said, and that's basically what I'm getting at is like, at a certain point, like these entities, Lockheed among them, it's like everything you've done has basically been taxpayer funded.
Yeah.
So it's like you can say you own it.
Yeah.
But at the same, it's like, but we've been paying for everything.
Yeah, we've been paying for everything.
So it's like, how much of it is yours and how much of it is just the government's?
Yeah, exactly.
When we're paying for it all.
Yeah.
You know, and it starts getting into that question. And that's why I was saying the framework, because it's like, at some point we need to just either take that company or just build one of our own that works the same way. Because apparently it's way cheaper to do it however they're doing it.
Yeah. Which, listen, like, in the long term, when we have cyberpunk companies that can go to other planets and stuff like that, that's cool. Like, I don't actually have a problem with that. But if you have a cheaper solution to this than our publicly funded one that we're trying to do this right now, that's a little bit of a weird red flag. Especially with all the Epstein stuff going on right now. That's all I'm saying. Like, what is happening here on this planet? Who controls us, Billy?
And I mean, that's kind of the key to all of our questions here is like, what's up there?
Yeah.
And the big one.
Yeah.
You know, that everybody likes to use and is synonymous with our topic at hand.
Yeah.
The Illuminati.
The Illuminati. What do you got?
No, I mean, I'm not saying I have, but I'm saying...
Okay, we could get into the Knights of Malta then. Okay, so Like we were talking about the Freemasons. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so the Knights of Malta, and it's this. I'm not going to be able to elaborate on a whole lot, but I just know a bit of it. They're basically from the Knights Hospitaller, which is one of the chivalric orders, along with the Knights Templar, things like that. However, they have their own. It's not their own island. They have their own embassy in Malta, which is owned by Italy now. Hold on, let me pull this up. Malta. This is the building in the island of Malta. So Malta is right off the coast of Italy. And it's just a territory of Italy. It's just like a state, one of their provinces, whatever. But in the major city on Malta, there is a building that serves as the embassy to the Sovereign Military Order of Malta. And there have been documentaries about trying to get into this building. There are workers there that work there and will answer the door and tell you to go away. And there are people that have passports to this country, to this weird fictional country that's not fictional. They were able to retain their ability to give passports by some ancient decree from like the 1600s.
Yeah.
So they basically just became like a secret society. And the only way to get passports of Malta is to either inherit one, be a descendant of one, or be invited like the Illuminati into this secret society. And the weird thing is there's other weird little countries that are like this. All over Europe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to just find one right off the top here. But there's a ton of like little tiny countries that are essentially rich people getaways. Monaco is one. Monaco is a great example.
Yeah, there's one, I believe, right there.
Where can you? That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. What is that one called? Andorra or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like all these little tiny countries in Europe. Some have like 20, 30,000 people living in them. And it's just like a county, what we would just consider to be a county here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's its own country with a prince and tons of wealth, and people aren't allowed in, and they do weird secret stuff in them,
Yeah. I don't know what that one's about.
Yeah, that one is also weird.
Yeah.
There's a few in Italy also. But yeah, these are real, and these impact how we govern things.
Well, yeah, and it gets into that whole question about legitimacy.
Yeah.
And with the TerraMar project.
Yeah.
It's like if you keep taking that a couple more steps ahead, it's like, well, then you have something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh no, we make our own rules.
Yeah.
Like, and we give out our passports and now we play by our own rules.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's illegal over there? Well, no, we have our own set of laws and dictations of how things run. And that's kind of, how these things go. And, you have people in power, that push these different things. And it's like, oh, I'd like this to be legal here. It's not legal here, but apparently it's legal over there, and it's like, how would you like to make yourself a little more legitimate? Because I'm a big organization, you're smaller.
Yeah.
And it's like, then there's a little connection made. And now some of the big players of this larger government or other organization are, now involved. And now it's like, oh, yeah, that little country over there, they're legitimate.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
I mean, the general takeaway for like a lot of this is just, who's running the show again. Just to reiterate, because it's like, keep your mind open for on these different topics, because it affects our everyday life,
Yeah.
even if we don't want it to, or don't think it does in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because it's like I would like to know, be like, yes, those senators, and everything's 100% legit.
Yeah.
But when you start seeing the director of the FBI, like, no, 180.
That is where we should go next with this. Is the real question is, what happens if it's like super double, triple dog confirmed that the FBI did completely obstruct with all this, and government institutions kind of need to be shaken up? Like, and it's a very obvious. What happens after that? Where if there's just a super obvious impasse, all of our housing is being taken. They're bringing in the robots. They're shoving in our face that, the government is being run by a giant, network of pedophiles. What happens?
Well, you see,
is it just a Soviet crush into dystopia?
Yeah, and it is, but you can even take away the smaller elements, and I hate to say it that way, like the pedophile stuff. Because what I mean by that is once you're up there, and we see it in business now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have this corporate, like, say the grocery stores.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a bunch of grocery stores. Like, we go down the street. There's a Giant. There's an Acme. There's Walmart's technically a grocery store.
Yeah.
You have all of these choices, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Let's go up that tree.
Yeah.
And then you keep following that tree, because it's like you think it ends there.
Yeah.
No. And it's like they're all owned by, like, a couple entities.
So you're basically saying the Tim Dillon bit is accurate, where we just have to forget about the pedophiles because it's all pedophiles, and we just have to vote for the pedophiles that have our best interests in mind.
Well, I'm not saying, I mean, just you can downplay.
They're all pedophiles. Yeah. Just vote for the one with your best interest that aligns with you.
You could almost take it that way. Yes, that is
what we're all gonna do collectively as a society. Just vote for the pedophile with your best interest.
But what I'm getting at here,
of course, they want great schools.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at here is just. And like you were saying is, it's not, I don't think it's a collection of, like,
because it looks like it's happening right now. Honestly, this looks like a fucking train wreck. Like, in terms of where we are at in a society, if there was a way to psyop a civil war, I feel like this would be the way to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like here's one of the, let me finish my sentence here and then get on to a little bit of something else. I don't think it's a collection of so many organizations anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a smaller collection.
Yeah.
Like, because everything kind of comes to a head when you get at the top.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think it's like, let's call the meeting and there's a huge room of people. I think it's like 50, tops.
Yeah.
Like 50, that are basically running everything when it really comes down to it.
Yeah.
And you have, and then dropping that and just saying, like, yes, I don't think it's a lot of people anymore, because it doesn't have to be.
No.
And this is to push the whole, how long has this been going on in a way. If you look at the Order of Phobius, I believe it is.
Okay.
Or I forget what it is. It's like the collection of phobias, the Order of Phobius. Basically, what it was light bulbs.
Okay.
Back when light bulbs were being commercially produced, there was a lot of how you're going to make a better commercial light bulb.
Okay.
And this was in like the early 1900 whatever. Like, this is, airplane travel really isn't too prolific. It's a, if you're communicating across the world, you're sending a letter, or a person to go do this, and it's taking months.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a while before you hear back.
Yeah.
This is in that time.
Mm-hmm.
And they got together globally.
Yeah.
And basically rigged prices.
Yeah.
This was then.
Yeah.
When that was happening, when you can't just send an email over and just be like, hey, you want to make sure we're both doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been doing it that we know of since before time, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the game that they're playing. It's the game that the reptoids are playing with their human avatars.
Yeah.
From the fifth dimension.
From the fifth dimension. We're getting into these things. It's interesting to look at, and I think though, like you're saying, we are going to start seeing changes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you reconcile with all of these crazy? Because, like, okay, here's the thing: you could say, it's not happening. You can keep saying it's not happening until the Amazon delivery humanoid robot walks up to your house and steals your fucking job right in front of your face. Okay? Like, it's happening. Like, something is happening. There is a major shift that I feel is about to occur. I mean, and it has to. There's no way,
There's no way around it.
Yeah.
And I actually do agree with that because we're now getting to the point where it's not replacing a job. It's not replacing really the value in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Even though there is a value here being calculated.
Yeah.
It's replacing the human element.
The human element.
Which now that's going to force these changes that we're talking about, basically.
And listen, if Lockheed Martin has its TR-3B Auroras that could go into space and they have their $21 trillion that they scooped up off of us, all they have to do is send in their armies of humanoid robots to finish off the job. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and just to throw in a little bit of fright into this mix. This is something that was said years ago. I believe this was quoted in 2019 or 20.
Yeah.
A general came out.
Yeah.
And he's talking. This is just about technology.
Yeah.
The drones, the AI operated drones.
Yeah.
Are already moving and operating so fast that humans cannot keep up with them.
No. Yeah, and that's going to be the real problem.
Yeah. Like if you were in a drone to drone battle, you cannot process as a human what they're like. You can't move the joystick and process fast enough to deal with it.
No.
Like, and we have those. Yeah. That was already confirmed.
Yeah.
So we're moving into a different territory.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, once you have that kind of technology, what do you even do? And that's what they were saying the New Jersey drones were, some crazy Chinese tech. Maybe the Chinese cracked anti-gravity. Either way, the drones that they have, the drones that are available conventionally, mass-produced, are likely more effective than nuclear weapons in terms of use case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're in this kind of territory with all these factors coming to a head. It's just weird.
Yeah. It's almost like, are we gonna make it?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Right? Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Till next time. There won't be a next time. But yeah. Well, yeah, we'll call it there.
We'll call it there.
All right. Good episode.